Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Saturday the 5th of October 2024. In today's Millwall news, it was match day and it was a 0-0 draw, which if you'd have seen the video yesterday you would know would not be a surprise based on the history of the fixture. And a lot of people say, oh, what does it matter? A game 100 years ago, a game of 50 years ago, who cares? It's 2024. And I say to that, and I also say, where's West Bromwich? Where's London? Have they moved recently? And the roads that are travelled from one to t'other, have they moved or are they the same? And the travelling distance, is it the same? So there are circumstances involved in reality of a physical human being moving from one point to the other being exactly the same. And not only that, but the area, the air that you're breathing in the area, the smell, certain things. It's the climate, like we've about Oldham. Oldham's like absolutely freezing at Oldham, isn't it? So that's why the history of the games matter, because the places are still there, the distances travelled are still the same, and the speed of travel is, you say, well, it's probably got quicker, isn't it? Like, all the cars are fast now. Yeah, but the traffic's insane, and trying just getting out of London is a nightmare. This bloody 20 miles an hour bullshit. So there you go. But yeah, 0-0 was quite a frequent score in West Brom versus Millwall games. Not only that, but draws as well. So today's game, no surprise, it was a 0-0 draw. And you would say that's a decent point. That is a decent point. The players worked their socks off, defended very, very well, restricted the team with the top goal scorer in it, Josh Maja, to very, very little chances. And I'm loath to say it, but it's good that we had a left back that could defend. Now, sadly, he kind of went off injured, so are we back to square one with that? But yeah, this may be the way going forward. I don't think they're going to do it because that's not how they work. We need one team to play at home and one team to play away. Now, most of the players are going to be the same. You can't change all 11 players, obviously. But I think when you're away, you maybe need to be more defensive. You should probably maybe start Danny McNamara or any other left back if we get them in, who's more defensive, rather than Joe Bryan, who's obviously better going forward. But yeah, so this is the match report from today's game. Millwall dig deep for Hawthorns Point. West Bromwich Albion and Millwall played out a goalless draw at the Hawthorns in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday afternoon. Heroic defending from the Lions contributed to a more than deserved point for Neil Harris' side in B71. They keep doing this with the postcodes. The thing about the postcodes in London is that they're quite famous. Well, not really. I think outside of London they don't really know what they are, but see, there's a lot of people that live in London or go into London, and they know what the postcodes in London are. You tell me B71, I ain't got a fucking clue what that means. It doesn't mean anything to me. You might as well just say West Bromwich. The head coach made two changes for the trip to the Baggies. Danny McNamara replacing Joe Bryan at left back, and Femi Aziz coming in for his first league start at the expense of Duncan Watmore, both the outgoings dropping to the bench. So they weren't injured. The home side enjoyed large swathes of possession in the early going, testing the Millwall goal for the first time on 15 minutes of Semi Ajay's defence splitting pass found the runner Tom Fellows. He crossed for Josh Maja, who blasted over the crossbar. A fortunate bounce and saw Maja strike again on 18 minutes, only for his shot to be blocked by Jafet Tanganga, whilst at the other end McNamara battled well to regain possession in the midfield and see an attempt from outside the box deflect wide for a corner kick. From that kick, Tanganga arrived unmarked but failed to make a clean connection with the ball, striking wide. The Lions then threw bodies at an effort from Darnell Furlong to block before Albion captain Carl Bartley curled a shot comfortably into the arms of Lucas Jensen with 27 minutes on the clock. Further half chances for West Brom followed, but Millwall finished the half in an attacking sense through a moment of sustained pressure on the host's box, just unable to test Alex Palmer as Albion hurriedly cleared from danger. Following that, Romain Esse's pass to Macaulay Langstaff saw the striker get across into the box, but Aziz, unmarked at the back post, failed to make a connection which would have seen the scoring opened. Esse's cross into the box began the second half, but the ball was claimed by Palmer before another dangerous cross had Darnell Furlong backpedaling to head away from the on-rushing Langstaff. A threatening West Brom free kick whipped in by Alex Mowat was headed away from goal by Albion's own captain Bartley, with Esse then hitting a half volley wide at the other end before Harris made a treble substitution. Is it a treble or is it a triple? Treble. Bringing on Wintle, Watmore and Mihailo Ivanovic into the game in place of Kasper Denor, Aziz and Langstaff. McNamara's deep cross gave Ivanovic the chance to net his first Lions goal with 19 minutes left to play, but the Serbian headed tamely at Palmer when Tanganga then taking a sting out of Madge's shot at the other end, the ball nestling into Jensen's arms as the game began to open up into the final 15 minutes. Bryan replaced the excellent McNamara with just under 10 minutes to play as the head coach opted for fresh legs down the left-hand side. Well, it looked to me like he was injured, no? But more Millwall defending had to be done as Torben Hegem went for goal on the edge of the box. Albion looked to press the issue and find a winner late on, but more resolute Millwall defending earned them a solid point come the final whistle. And the team was as follows: Jensen, Leonard, Tanganga, Cooper, McNamara, Denor, Saville, Esse, Aliman, Aziz, Langstaff. The substitutes were Bryan on for McNamara in the 84th minute, Winter on for Denor in the 66th minute, Watmore on for Aziz in the 66th minute, and Ivanovic on for Langstaff in the 66th minute. The unused substitutes were Roberts, Wallace, Kelly, Massey, and Harding. And that was an away attendance of 1,255, but they don't have the actual attendance of anyone else. Okay. And I'm looking at it up on my phone. I can tell you the attendance was 24,158 with 1,255 Millwall fans. So not a bad crowd. Now, moving on to this. This is the lowdown on West Brom versus Millwall. Lions grind out a point with defensive masterclass. This is from the South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall bounced back from their 1-0 defeat at Cardiff on Tuesday to claim a point in West Brom in a 0-0 stalemate at the Hawthorns. Here's the lowdown on the match. There's the teams. Snapshot of the game. Not a classic by any means. I'm sure it was a hard watch for the travelling Millwall fans who had to watch their team spend long spells without the ball but defend very well to earn their 9th point of the Championship season. The home side were dominant in terms of possession and chances created, but they failed to really test Millwall stopper Lucas Jensen as he claimed another clean sheet. Yeah, I think the possession stats at one point was something like 20% for Millwall, but what was the score? 0-0. So yeah, don't panic. Yeah, I'm looking at it now on my phone. 17% in the end it was. Damn, that's crazy. That is crazy. Neil Harris made 2 changes to the side that lost 1-0 at Cardiff on Tuesday evening. Duncan Watmore and Joe Bryan both dropped to the bench with Danny McNamara Femi Aziz coming in, the latter making his first league start for the club. It was clear from the onset the Lions head coach Neil Harris was very happy to take a point back to South London. The resilience in their display was commendable. Harris set his team up to withstand a lot of pressure and defend with their hearts. They frustrated a good West Brom side who were looking to bounce back from back-to-back defeats. Starman Danny McNamara, what did I say? He was superb from the outset. Yeah, it's good when you've got a defender that can defend, no? Tom Fellows was the liveliest of the attacking threats for the Baggies, but McNamara playing at left back gave the Baggies midfielder nothing. He kept tight to fellows and prevented him from causing any problems. And an honourable mention from Ryan Leonard as well. Another excellent display from him at right back. Yeah, well, he filled in at right back, and he's been so good at right back that he's kept Danny McNamara out of the team, and he's not being put back into midfield because he's just really, really, really good at right back. So yeah, Ryan Leonard, standard for him now. Yeah. The best moment of the game. There were a few superb tackles and some really good defending from a Millwall point of view. It's hard to pick out one moment in particular. Ryan Leonard, George Saville, Jake Cooper and Jafet Tanganga all produced tackles and blocks that ensured a point for Harris's men. Moan of the match. Mill's inability to retain the ball while they were superb in their defending. Keeping the ball was a real challenge for the Lions. Some poor passing meant the Baggies had very long spells with the ball, forcing the away side to do a lot of off-the-ball running. When games are tight and you get to go to closing stages, you want to have energy left in the tank as the home side came on strong, but the Lions remained strict and stuck to their task. A talking point down the pub. The solidity of Mill's defence. We saw on numerous occasions last season after Neil Harris's return to the club that Mill can defend and withstand mountains of pressure. Gary Rowett also used to rely on that when he started battling for those playoff places and grinding out 1-0 wins away from home. When you're not at your best, it doesn't look like you can win a game. You have to make sure you do not lose, and that is something that Mill under Harris have been known to do. It is a trait that in the Championship may not be great to watch, but is very effective and will get valuable points. If you don't concede, you can't lose. Indeed, if you keep a clean sheet, the worst you can do is a 0-0. What the boss had to say. Oh, we had a clear game plan, everyone could see that. We executed it superbly. West Brom dominated the ball, the stats show that, but in the areas in which they had the ball, they played where we wanted them to play, and I picked up two very good 1-1 defenders to deal with their players, and we defended the ball in our box. We needed a reaction and a result on the back of that, and I thought the best way was to go the way we did, and if we play well, we will create chances. Yeah, we had a few chances, not clear cut. They didn't have clear cut chances either. But it was a good away point. And by the way, if you didn't know, so I don't know, so 0-0. If you think a game's going to be 0-0 and you're going to have a bet on it, do not bet on correct score 0-0. Why? Because if you bet on first goal scorer, no goal scorer, you will win if it's a 0-0, and you will also win if it's 1-0 to either team and the goal that gets scored is an own goal. Because own goals do not count for first goal scorer. That's a little trick. So if you ever think a game's going to be 0-0, don't bet on 0-0. I didn't bet on this game. Now, moving on to this. So we've just had a little quote from Neil Harris. I think this is going to be the same, maybe a bit extended a bit. This is from southernnews.co.uk. So we executed the game plan brilliantly. Millwall head coach pleased with his side's performance against West Brom. Millwall boss Neil Harris praised his side's performance against West Bromwich Albion after they kept a clean sheet away from home against one of the Championship's best attackers. West Brom dominated possession but were unable to break down the stubborn Lions defence. They were restricted to just 3 shots on target all game, despite having 79% of the ball. Wow. Neil Harris said, we were very respectful to West Brom's strengths. The quality they've got in the team off the bench, we were a little bit envious as well. We knew they were going to control the football. We had a clear game plan. Everyone could see that, and the players executed it brilliantly. West Brom dominated the ball. The stats show they dominated the ball, but it's in areas that they had the ball that was important to us. They played where we wanted them to play, and I picked 2 very good 1v1 defenders to deal with their wide players, and we defended the ball in our box. And I remember them having maybe one chance during the first half where they put it wide and over, and other than that, we executed the game plan brilliantly. The goalkeeper didn't have them saved to make in the second half, and we had 3, maybe 4 really good chances. The Lions came close to scoring on several occasions, most notably when Femi Aziz nearly got on the end of Macaulay Langstaff's cross, but he could not quite get contact on the ball. I'm not quite sure what happened. I need to see it again, and I need to speak to Femi. You saw his reaction. He couldn't believe he missed an open goal. Mihailo came on in the second half. He had 2 good headers at the goalkeeper, but I think for me, Femi's chance was the main one. Jafet Tanganga, in the first half, he also had a good chance. He's clinical in the penalty area, and we get a set play in the first half, and he gets himself free, and he just doesn't get contact on the ball properly. I'm not going to bemoan my players missing opportunities. Despite the near misses, Harris was proud of his team's performance, especially in the light of their disappointing 1-0 loss to bottom of the table Cardiff City on Tuesday. Away from home against a team that we expect to be in a top 3 or 4. I think it was hugely respectful performance. But when the opportunity arose for us to impact the game, we did. We came in with a clear game plan because we had a disappointing result on Tuesday. We needed a reaction. We needed a result off the back of that. And I felt the best way was to go the way that we did. And we know, if we perform the best, we will create chances. As the game went on, West Brom struggled to create clear-cut chances in the face of a determined Mill defensive unit. Harris was pleased with how his side disrupted their attacks and how his players threw themselves in front of shots. For us to be successful, as a football club, we have to be like that, and that has to be us. That has to be your blueprint. It has been for decades now, and we have to be really hard to beat and horrible to play against. We have to be the opposition managers worrying about how they're going to break us down and having to worry about set plays on both ends of the pitch. The players throwing themselves in front of the ball was outstanding, and that just goes back to the desire they showed to want to get a clean sheet. Indeed, the players worked their socks off. Absolutely brilliant today. We also have this from Neil Harris. This is from today. So Mill boss on Romain Esse. He'll fly in the nest at some stage, I'm sure, to the Premier League. And this is from southernnews.co.uk. Millwall boss Neil Harris was impressed with 19-year-old Lions winger Romain Esse's contribution against West Bromwich Albion today, calling his performance outstanding. The Lions were pinned back for most of the game by a strong West Brom side that benefited from a loud home support. The Baggies had 79% possession and forced Mill to do their fair share of defending. While Esse is typically a player that excels with the ball at his feet, Harris was particularly happy with his efforts out of possession. Romain's going to be a top player, Harris said. He'll fly the nest at some stage, I'm sure, to the Premier League. Romain showed his qualities today, with his flicks and his quality in possession to get us up the pitch and control areas for us. But his performance with the ball and defensively was outstanding today. It's hard for a 19-year-old who is so good with the ball to have that discipline without it. And his game understanding is phenomenal. It's one of somebody way beyond his years. I'm very pleased with Romain. Indeed, I think we all are. Aren't we? So yeah, that was it. That was the result today. 0-0 draw, and these are some of the other results in the games across the weekend. Sunderland 2, Leeds 2 on the weekend. Norwich spanking Hull. Looks like Norwich have woken up. Portsmouth, Oxford 1-1. Burnley 0-0 against Preston. The Preston that we beat 3-1. They couldn't beat them, and I don't think Fleming was on the bench, so don't know what's going on there. Neither do I care, really. Derby, we're playing them next. They beat QPR 2-0. Okay. Sheffield United, we'll get to talk about them in a minute. They beat Luton 2-0. Plymouth, they beat Blackburn. And Blackburn, I believe, were one of only 2 unbeaten sides in the league. And that's just been ended with Plymouth. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth. Wayne Rooney got sent to the stands. He got a red card because he's moaning about Blackburn's goal. Watford beat Middlesbrough. That's a bit of a shock, 2-1. And then there's our result, and then there's the Swansea Stoke was 0-0 as well. There's a game tomorrow, Bristol City Cardiff. But yeah, so this is the table as it stands now. That means, as of this moment, there's only one team that hasn't lost a game yet. That's Sheffield United. There's only one team that hasn't won a game yet, and that's Portsmouth. 5 draws. Damn. We are 18th. 2 wins, 3 draws, 4 defeats, 12 goals. Scored, 11 goals against. And still, we are the only team in the bottom half with a positive goal difference of +1. Derby are 12th, which is in the bottom half, but they're on 0. Damn, I mean, now, this week was the first week of the championship where it was the grind, where it was the 3 games in a week. where you're playing Saturday, midweek Saturday. And if you go down, so if you go up to, if you look at the colours on the right hand side, these are the most recent games. Do you notice anything? There was only one team that won 2 games in a row. And that is Sheffield United. They've won their last 2 games. And if you look, so if we go the last 3 games, so the one in the middle and then the 2 to the right. Not many teams. Middlesbrough won 2 in a row. They won last Saturday midweek, but they lost this Saturday. Hull won last week and midweek. So only 3 teams have won 2 out of the 3 games this week. 3 teams in the whole league. That's how crazy this league is. That's how hard it is. That's how difficult it is. Obviously, I still think we should have done better at Cardiff. You know, we should have not lost that game, but we all know how it is, and it's always going to be that way. I think we need one of them for the players to wake up and figure it out. At least every season, we need one of them. Let's hopefully we don't get another one. So we now go off to international break. We did bid our 5 internationals adieu, and we come back in a couple of weeks, back to a 3-game week. We have Derby at home, we have Plymouth at home midweek on a Wednesday, and then we have Swansea away on the next Saturday. So again, a 3-game week. So we start off with Derby. You've sold out their away allocation, 2,952 tickets we gave them. And then, obviously, they haven't drawn yet. They've scored quite a few goals as well. They've scored as many goals as us. So that's at home. So luckily, that's at home. Then we have Plymouth. Wayne Rooney's Plymouth midweek at home. That's going to be interesting. I'm sure Mr. Wayne Rooney's going to get a few fat bastards yelled at him. And then we have Swansea. So we're playing the teams in the middle of the park, middle of the table. We're playing a team in 11th, we're playing a team in the 12th, and we're playing a team in the 14th. We are 18th. We really do need a win, because if we don't win and QPR win, they will go above us, as will Luton and QPR and Preston. So we could find ourselves dropping down. Obviously, we don't want to do that. Obviously, still early in the season, it wouldn't be the end of the world, but we don't want to be doing that. It would be nice if we could come back and win against Derby, because then we would go up above them. And then the other games, we'll just see how it goes. But yeah. And that was it. Today was match day. West Brom 0, Millwall 0. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.